Hi everybody, it's me, Jennifer, Nail Polish Anonymous, and I am here to ask you, what would you do in my situation? And I don't mean what would you want to do. I mean, what would you really, really do? As you know, I am an animal lover, and I've been dealing with something so traumatic for me. And there's only one other person besides my boyfriend who knows what's going on. So, Wednesday was the 27th, and it was my dad's birthday. And you know that he passed, and I have a hard time dealing with this. So, when I woke up, I expected it would be a hard day, and I would mourn his loss. I try to find a way to celebrate it, but I'm not at that point. So, I get up, I do my normal thing, have my coffee, play my games, blah, 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 blah. So around 8:30, the contractors show up at my neighbor's house. And he's there to fix a hole in their roof. It's on the corner of their roof. And I know for a fact that there's baby squirrels living in this hole, okay? Because we saw them the day before. And it usually takes like 2 to 3 days, maybe 4, for the babies to come out. And this is, the day before was the first day we saw them, so we know they hadn't gotten out yet. So I go down and I tell the contractor, there's baby squirrels living in the roof. And it's not the actual, attic area. It's the overhang. So he says, okay, I'll look, I'll see, and if I see them, I'll pull them out. I said, okay, thinking he's a cool guy, good guy. So, he's working on it, he's banging on it, and he tells me he doesn't see them, because I'm not going to let this go. I said, you're sure? He says, yeah, I can't see them. So, he's only worked on part of the section. He hasn't actually wrapped around the corner yet. And it's about an hour later, and he's about to wrap it. And he says to my neighbor, he says, your neighbor says, there's squirrels living in here. And he says, what do you want me to do? And my neighbor, Michael, says, wrap it up. So I'm irate. Okay, there's nothing I can do. I mean, I can't guarantee at this point that there's squirrels living in there and trapped in there. So I have no idea what to do. I'm just upset. So I had packages to send out to the post office that day. So I got the packages together, and when I get back from the post office, I can hear these baby squirrels scratching at this one spot because there's rotten wood further down. And I hear them. I can hear them clawing, trying to get out because they're trapped. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? So I go inside. I have no idea what direction to go in. So I call the Humane Society. And she said, well, this isn't our department because, we deal with domesticated animals, not wildlife. She said, but, here's a number to call. And I called that number, and they led me to another number, and then that led me to another number, and then the last number led me to the game warden. So I talked to the game warden, and he says, it is totally illegal to trap a squirrel. You cannot trap them whatsoever. It is squirrel season, but you cannot trap an animal. You can shoot them, but you can't trap them. So he says it's not even his area. The guy from my area is off for the day, so he's covering the job. He said he'll be up in our city in a couple hours. And this is at noontime. It's 95 degrees outside, okay? These babies have no liquid, no, they can't have water. They're just not having their mommy's milk. I don't know if they've got food in there. He shows up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 95 degrees. I haven't heard these babies in hours. It's been hours. I have not heard them. And Mom, which you'll see, I have video of everything. Video to prove to him what Mom is trying to do to get in. Okay, so back to him. So he finally shows up. The babies aren't making any noise. So I'm fearing the worst. Absolutely fearing the worst. And he says, well, I just left their house, my neighbors. He said there's a crawl space that he can go up to, but he had to leave. And that the neighbor wouldn't let the game warden into the crawl space. So he comes to my house. I said, I have video of Mom trying to get in there to save her babies. And I showed him that. He said, I believe you. He said, will you write out a written statement so that if they won't let me into the crawl space, then I can go get a search warrant. And I filled out a statement of the whole thing. But while I'm filling this out, my neighbors came back. So he went over and they let him up into the crawl space. And I have no idea what happened after this, other than my neighbor opened her kitchen window, which looks across my driveway into my porch. And she says, by the way, there's no squirrels up there, and tries to slam her window, but she can't because of the window type. And I'm like, okay, I didn't say anything. I kept my calm because I know I will get my time. So the game warden left, and I have watched for today's Saturday for 4 days this mother squirrel digging and chewing to make a new hole to get to her babies. And all I can think of is when she gets in there, she's going to find them dead. That's all. That's my worst fear. That's all I can think of, because I have not heard these babies. Like for days, I haven't heard any noise. And today I heard noise up there. And I'm like, okay, so she got in. But, what's going on with the babies? And, oh my God, I'm just frantic. Like, am I going to see her pulling dead babies out? You know what I'm saying? I'm just scared crapless. I'm just scared for her. Mourning for her. I mean, I was so desperate to help her out, just in case she could get in there soon enough, that the way she gets up to the telephone line to get to the hole is from climbing in a tree that's on our property. And there's this little area in there. And I was putting seeds and nuts and all different kinds of stuff in there. So she didn't actually have to go and like search for her food. She could just come down into the tree and eat, save her energy, and then go back up. You know what I'm saying? So today, again, we're back to today. I'm sitting out there because we don't smoke in our house because of our animals. And all of a sudden, I saw a little baby teal. Super, super excited. So excited. And then all of a sudden, boom, it fell onto their porch roof. One story. Thud. Crazy. So I run in and I grab my camera or my tablet and I record, and you'll see this too. Mama's there with the baby and the other baby's up on the little overhang. So I am so happy. And I mean, I love being right. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love being right. But I am so much more grateful that these babies are alive. They're alive and they're well. And I'm over ecstatic. But after being all excited and over ecstatic, I take that video and I send it to the game warden. Now, I don't expect a reply this weekend, but they have that video, and now they know there was babies in there. They won't get jail time, but they will get a big-ass fine. My life is going to be a miserable hell because she's a bitch. She thinks because she's a city alderman that she can do whatever she wants. Well, the games are just going to start. Believe me. My life is going to be a hell, and she's going to do whatever she possibly can to ruin my life, because that's why the people we bought this house off from left, because she's a bitch. So, that's it. But the videos of mommy crawling her and clawing and trying to figuring out how to get into it are on here. And then I think that's 3 videos. And then after that is mommy, and you'll hear me saying I told you so, and the babies, and then you will see that one of them does get out of the house completely and onto the ground, and you'll see that it falls, but then you'll see afterwards that it's all right. It didn't get hurt. It's completely fine. Mommy's taking it to a safe place. Now we just got the last one to get out and down on the ground, and then they'll all be together. So, thank you for watching my video. But, would you have done that knowing that your neighbor's going to turn your life into a hell? Like, complete hell. Like, she'll do whatever she possibly can to get us violated through the city hall. I mean, it's just crazy. But I don't care. These babies' lives, I would fight any day for any animal, anytime, any children. I fight for what I call the voiceless. I've turned my own sister into child protective services. I don't care. Children and animals don't have voices. And I will fight for them when I know they need to be fought for. So, enough said. I hope you enjoyed this. I will talk to y'all later. Bye. Hi, Mommy. See that? I told you. There's two. Exactly. I don't know where she went. Ooh, that was scary. Come on, little guy.